Howdy folks, it's Meandering Mike in the Man Cave of Menace. And this is New Year's Eve. It's the last chance for me to do an unboxing for 2024. I haven't done as many this year. I've definitely cut down. And I haven't done much miniature content, so I'm going to combine the two and do an unboxing. Well, an unboxing. And look, this is what I got. Treated myself for Christmas time. This is the Scafford Gang bundle that I got from Flying Frog Productions. Now, if those of you who are familiar with Shadows of Brimstone, this thing has been out of print for ages. The prices of this were going sky crazy. The Scafford Outlaw enemy pack, easily available, really cheap, no problem. But this Scafford Gang, this is the leaders of the gang. This thing is going for like $100 or more. Well, they just reprinted it. It's out there, like retails for about 45 bucks. You can find it for less. This was part of a bundle. I don't think you can still get the bundle anymore at this time. I mean, this magazine is not promo. This is a new magazine from Flying Frog Productions, Darkstone magazine, issue number 1. I'll do a look at this. These 3 supplements, they're the Scafford Gang supplements. Each has 2 characters that go along with resin figures, which came as part of the bundle, but I can't find those. I set them aside somewhere. So I'm not going to unbox these right now. And I may never do it, because like I'm saying, I'm not doing a lot of miniatures and unboxing on it, but we're going to unbox this and take a look at this magazine. All right. So let me get that up a little bit better so you can see that a little without glare. All right. So let me get the shrink off of this. And the shrink is off. So this is one of their sturdier boxes. Some of their enemy packs have wimpier boxes. This is a nice sturdy one. All right. We have Colonel Stafford and the Scafford Gang. Now, for you who don't know, Shadows of Brimstone is a Wild West themed dungeon crawl type game, miniature game. So it's the Wild West with mystic elements, dark forces. And they've expanded it out to, besides the Wild West, they've included, just recently they had, Viking settings, conquistador settings. They had other world settings in the past, the feudal Japan, all sorts of cool stuff. So you can mix and match all those and expand your game as you want. And so these enemy packs, while they're geared towards certain of the settings, the subgenres, they can technically be mixed and matched and used with any of them. All right. So here it shows like painting guides for the particular characters. Some random type encounters, some scenarios, etc. Any special rules involved. There's special mutations. All right. So these are the enemy cards, the monster cards. Each one of those has a different side, their normal side, and there's the brutal side, depending on what difficulty level that you're playing. All right. So here is the plastic, the figures. Now I'm gonna stop this and open it up. And sometimes I just rip into those, but sometimes they're more difficult to open up than you really think. And so instead of wasting your time, I just said stop it. So we have, it looks like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bases. So those are 2 figures. This is 1 figure. That's 3 total, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So let's see if I think having Yeah, slightly lightly colored. You might be able to see that better. Well, I don't know. If I had just a blank white piece of paper, it would be better. But here, we'll just use against the black backdrop since this is light gray. All right, so okay, this gentleman here. I guess this is his head with the hat. Yeah. So I don't know how well you can see that. Yeah, there's his hat and his head. I don't know why. And if they don't give you multiple heads, why have the head separate, in my mind? So these particular dudes, they're like mutated guys with various squid-like bits and pieces. Some have... Yeah. That's his arm here. And I guess, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's not, it doesn't have a particularly fixed, like a point that fits. So you could adjust where he's shooting at. I mean, not, once you glue it together, but you could have his shooting arm, higher or lower, and then decide where you want to fix that. But this guy's head, I have no clue why that's not part of his body already. So here's more of those. Are these the same? Okay, so these are just general gang members because these are two identical things. Whereas this guy here, he's got the squid-like legs, the bottom part. Looks like there's additional. So to keep this relatively flat, they got two of the leg tentacles. One's going to stick out this way, and one out here, I think. And instead of having all that pre-molded, I guess it's whatever process they're using to do this makes it more efficient to be flatter and then make you have to assemble it, which isn't too much work. I mean, some of the ones in this line, like the temple, those were 10 pieces each, and that was crazy talk. But so this is going to be 5 pieces total, which is really that. Yeah, I'd rather keep it down to 3, 4 at most per figure. So there's actually, yeah, it's triplicate. There's 7 guys, but these guys, there's 3 of him and 3 of him, and then the big colonel. Okay, so he is the special dude, and that's why he has. Yeah, see, actually, there's 2 cards in here. Yes, I can't even find out where there it is. See, I'm vision with this. I should have stopped the camera for you and opened it. But it's okay. One less splice this time. All right, so these are Scafford Gang dudes. And there's just, 2 different figures, 6 total guys. So these are their typical attributes. That's the brutal side. This is the regular side here. And so between these, there's no difference. They're all generic gang members. And then here's the colonel. Now, oftentimes boss types guys tend to, be a larger figure, but since these are all just medium-sized character, he's just another humanoid, but with the squid mutation leggies. They're the same size. But I wouldn't have minded him maybe, a little bigger, like 10% bigger, like he's just a dude with a bigger stature, tends to, drift up on his tentacles taller. Wow, he has so much better initiative. And so much better health. So this is he's definitely what you'd call a boss. Oh yeah, legendary. It's a legendary there. These are the keywords. He's mutant, he's an outlaw, Scafford, and then legendary. Now these other guys, these are all like lieutenants. These are, 6 distinct separate guys, 2 in each pack, and they come with their own cards here. No. So back to here we got more stuff in here because, one of the little things comes out. All right. So oftentimes you'll get extra, pop that back in. So there's often special rules in each one of these. This has a shootout marker, so there's something in here for shootouts. There's a wanted poster item. Not sure exactly what these are for. They've got the squid, so the Scafford Gang tokens. Not sure what those are for, but somewhere in here this would tell us. And then the cards for these have the threat deck, or you put in your card deck of guys. So this is low threat level, and you've got the medium threat, and then the high. This kind of greenish border, yellowish, brownish border, red border. Okay, and then there's epic. Epic level there. You actually can meet the colonel. And in this case, like it's depending on like how many heroes you have. The colonel will be there with a die 3+1 Scafford Gang and with a hideous mutation. I'm not sure what this is. This symbol. Scafford Gang with 3 hideous mutation. Yeah, I'm not sure. So there's a different potential mix of. So interesting. So in this case, you'd have the Colonel Scafford, and you draw an additional threat card, which could be anything mixed in the particular scenario you're doing, which could be another Scafford Gang or something else. So he could be there along with void spiders or whatnot. All right, so here's the rule card for shootout. Here's a wanted poster, various gear. So you can get the, as a gear item, you might have a wanted poster, which allows you to gain money, get your reward. Bandanas, hats, buckles. Then these are encounter cards. One thing that's really nice about this game is you get so many ideas. So, there's the base sets, which, has enough to keep you, but just adding some expansion packs really adds to the variety, a lot of extra monsters. And so then you can make your own, and they also have supplements and things like that you can, greatly expand the game as much as you want. All right. So here's information about the lieutenants, which they don't have those the miniatures for, except then they made them separately as limited edition resin miniatures. And so, here's the 6 guys. And so I actually have those somewhere. Let's see. These are the mutations: phase jitter, necro flesh, hulking beast, raging regeneration, void beacon, writhing mass, stench of Carcosa, void blast. All right, so that is what we have for Shadows of Brimstone Deluxe Enemy Pack, the Scafford Gang, which was sort of my holy grail, my grail item for Shadows of Brimstone. I've been looking for this for a long time. I wasn't going to pay no freaking $100. And then when I finally found out, aha, they're reprinting it, and I went ahead and got this bundle. So I'm happy to finally add it to the collection. So I'm going to set these things aside and take a look at this magazine now. All right, so this magazine, I think I mentioned, was not supposed to be out yet. I think the release date is January 10th. At least that's what it says right now. It's on pre-order status, but when I ordered it, yeah, I don't remember it saying pre-order. You know, maybe they had a limited run in or whatnot, or just decided because I'd ordered the bundle and something else along with this, that they maybe shipped me one of their limited numbers of copies or not. So I got this before Christmas. Okay. Now, not a lot of, places are still making real magazines. And this is $14.99, which is actually pretty good for the thickness of this. It's got a very nice binding to it. The cover of this is a thicker cardstock. So this is not your typical, newsstand magazine cover. This is a full-fledged great, book. It comes with a poster, which I'm trying to pull out here. All right, so this is upcoming for like 2025. The Cursed Tomb of Kamuntet. And the other side of the poster probably has the other. Gates of Valhalla is actually what came out recently, this 2024. There was the Valley of the Serpent King and the Gates of Valhalla. Whereas Cursed Tomes, I can't see if they're Cursed Tomes of Kamuntet. That's coming out. I'm not sure there's another one. They usually, do two, or they have been doing two, core sets, core boxes at a time. Some years they've just put out deluxe expansions and things like that. So besides the poster and the magazine here, also look, they had 6 exclusive cards exclusive to this magazine. And here we go. We're going to fiddle with this again. Live. What's going on here? There we go. Now, these are pretty interesting. Now, they've got one artifact here. And this is obviously for the Gates of Valhalla. I think it's Soren Huskarl's blade. So nice benefits there. But most of what this is here are threat recipes. They have 3 new threat recipes and 2 traits to go through them. So what a threat recipe is, threat deck recipe is how to build together a set of encounters and monsters to have a theme. Now, this isn't supplying you with, a backstory for, plot type things like that. But in terms of just the combination of stuff sort of builds a theme in the monsters that are cooperating together. So this is Rattling Bones is very, undead themed. So you have Hungry Dead and Corpse Piles, Coffin Breakers, Undead Outlaws, Draugr Undead Vikings. So these are from different of the core boxes or expansions. For example, Odokuro is an extra large deluxe enemy. It's a big, huge skeleton monster created from the bones of many fallen warriors in battle. The skeletons, and it breaks out of the ground and attacks. Onmorake is a Phoenix creature, so these are both from like the feudal Japan setting. Scourge of the Dead are part of the Anmorake enemy pack, the Phoenix and Scourge of the Dead. Dishonored Dead, I don't remember where those are. The Drowned Dead, those are part of the Conquistador, the Serpent Valley. They're like drowned conquistadors from the Viking set. Coffin Breakers, that's just a standard. There's the Canyons sub genre of the Other Worlds, I think it is. The Coffin Breakers available. Things I don't remember where like Hungry Dead and Corpses and Undead Outlaws come from, or whether those are separate things or part of a core set. But this just forms like a recipe to put them in their hair. Here's, if you want like tons of these Walking Dead skeleton type stuff, not zombies, but these are all various forms of dead and skeletons and things like that. Now, these next two threat ones, they come with a special trait, each one. So General Enox's Warband is a threat deck recipe that's based on Serpent Men warriors and archers, and that's from the Valley of the Serpent King or whatnot, Temple Guards, also Void Sorcerers and Void Hounds. I think that was there's a Master of the Void, and I think that might be what this Void Sorcerers talking about. That was a separate enemy pack. Swamp Raptor of Dragono, I've painted that one. That's been featured on my channel before. Croxen Beast is like a gigantic lizard type thing, part of the Serpent Valley Kings. This thing is a special separate Serpent King on the Qatari Beast. This is a huge flying beast, big wingspan. Him flying. This is a really cool looking model. And the Ancient One, I think, is another extra large or extra large model. And with this, this threat, you use the trait Voidtooth Warband. And so Voidtooth Warband, that's what this is, General Enox's Warband. And this trait, tells you that these guys in this warband, each group of enemies that you encounter and activate, when they activate, you roll a die. And a 1, 2, or 3, they heal that much, 1, 2, or 3 points. But if you roll a 4, 5, or 6, instead get a +1 on the combat. So this means these warbands are either getting a bonus to attack, bonus in combat against you, or they're healing. So that's pretty potent. So like this is like a very heavy melee fighting, this nasty warband of Serpent Men. So that if you want that kind of a challenge, you could put that threat recipe deck together. And the last one here, Black Fang Werewolves. This is a Tribal Moon. The Black Fang Tribe is a deluxe expansion. It's I think they call it a mission pack. Actually, is what it is. So it's got the Black Fang like Native American tribe, and you also use the Werewolf Feral Kin. That's also a mission pack. Now, Hellvermin and Scourge Rats, these are just, standard enemy packs. I've painted the Scourge Rats and their nests on my channel. Did I do the Hellvermin? I think so. They're kind of like the wolf, dog, hellhound looking type dudes. And the fun trait, you use this trait and only this trait. Sometimes if you add too many traits, it can be too powerful and overwhelming, depending on the traits. But so for this threat deck sphere, you only use this one, and this is nasty. So the Black Fang Tribe guys, okay, whenever you get the hold back the darkness roll that you fail, you periodically roll for holding back the darkness, and if you fail, it progresses, getting darker and darker and influencing the dark powers in the scenario. When you fail that each time, a die 3 of the Black Fang Tribe dudes, those with the most wounds. They turn into the Feralkin werewolves, and they're fully healed. So you've got the Black Fang Tribe of Feralkin werewolves, and they're actually transforming the damaged guys. You feel the whole back of the darkness, and you get those in your face. So that is some nasty stuff. All right. So that was a little add-in. I thought that's spending more time looking at that than I probably should, but it's like, I'm not going to review this whole, I'm just going to thumb through it for you. But this I thought was a great add-in. It's like a whole mini supplement. They sell supplements of 15 cards with various themes and stuff. And this by itself, these 6 cards add a ton of flavor for if it's kind of like a big reward. If you have collected, these set of guys. Now, if you don't have all of these, now it's like really cheap to go out and get Scourge Rats and Hellworm. Those are available and they're, pretty cheap. But you could substitute something for them. But these two here, you really need both of these two mission packs, expansions, to make this work. But if you have them, this is like a really cool way to use them, and it's kind of like a reward to you. Hey, for collecting these stuff, here's a really cool kind of scenario to set up. Make a little mini campaign or something. Okay, so back to the magazine. So it's got a short story. Jason C. Hill, he's the main designer of the whole Shadows of Brimstone, a series of games. They got art preview coming for that upcoming Kickstarter release. Miniature gallery, building themed threat decks. So obviously, here's examples, and they're going to talk about ways to do that. They even talk about some technique with like the zenithal priming and base coating. So let's look here quickly at, the Impossible Hell Train. Wow, look at that guy. Demonic, huge, forge of demon power. Put together, looks like, railroad car, train pieces, cow catcher, the stacks. And cool. Hellborn engineer, cavalry officer, hero. All right, so I don't know if this Hell Train thing is actually a mission pack that's coming out as part of that next release. And they're showing you, a preview of the minis for that and painted. All right. So let's look at the table of contents here. So they've got the pictorial ones, and then the ones on the side are not an exact repeat. These pictorial ones only show a subset of these. So we need a hero taking a closer look at the cowboy. Cowboy was one of the very first, heroes for the game. Design perspectives. Customize your experience by building themed threat decks. So this is this article here 10, and it's showing those 2 cards, the General Enoch's Warband and the Rattling Bones, as examples. Behind the brush, show 14 painting techniques. Into the Blasted Waste. Blasted Wastes was one of the Otherworld expansions. I was never really interested. I never picked up any of those particular expansions. I didn't really like that kind of Wild West steampunkish kind of, it was just like Wild West remake with Will Smith and the big mechanical. I didn't care for all that too much. But when I browsed through this in here and looking at some of the creatures that were in this, I went out and ordered this. Which is kind of amazing that I'm usually very much a completist and want to get everything. But occasionally there's things I like, a certain sub-line of something, I decide I'm not going to get that, and I exclude them from my collection, but then sometimes something overcomes that, and boom, I get them all. So, just an ad for the Gates of Valhalla. That was 2024's. Let's see, was there anything else here? Adventure Report, Journey into Darkness. I think that's the short story. Dice Fest is the local con that Flying Frog Productions puts on. Art preview. Fortune and Glory. Okay, Fortune and Glory is a different game that Flying Frog Production, but they have like 6 games. And, you know, some of them just have an expansion or two, and some of them are really big, like Shadows of Brimstone, and have dozens of expansions. Connections, Drifters. Find the threads that connect all Flying Frog games. That'll be interesting there if they've got this little connecting philosophy that weaves in and out between the different games. Touch of Evil. I think that's the name of one of their games, A Touch of Evil. Dark Altar, Fringe Dispatch, Q&A. So, I'll quickly browse through here to show some of the art. This is that short story, Journey into Darkness there. Let's see. Here's that Dice Fest. Look at this layout here. This is a huge... Yeah, this is not 2 separate tables. This is one huge play surface they got going here. Dice Fest. Well, this is from 2022. Here they're showing the exclusive miniatures that they had at each one of these Dice Fest. Dang. So, of course, yeah, all right. You're not going to be able to collect those if you didn't go. Where your odds of finding people selling those are probably few and far between. So, we just missed that. The Dice Fest 2024 was November 1st through 3rd. Preview of the Cursed Tombs of Kamuntet. Anubites, Nobus Jackals, Cult of Horus. Yeah, pretty nice stuff. Now look at all that. Undead dudes, squid dudes, mummies dudes. All right. So here's Fortune and Glory. That's one of their games. I think this is the one that just had a revised edition. I think it may have been in 2024 when that released, or maybe the very end of 2023 or 2024. New edition of that. Connections, Drifters. All right, so that's it. Not showing you everything, but the production value, this is amazing. So for $14.99, this is, I think this is fall 2024. I don't know if it's going to come out quarterly or it's just going to come out when it's going to come out, and it's going to be, have whatever date on it that it does. I would rather a magazine come out less often and be a really high quality production than try to cram something out too fast on a schedule and end up, not being that great. So pretty cool. All right. So that's been Meandering Mike unboxing. We've looked at the Dark Stone magazine issue number 1 with poster and 6 exclusive cards to this magazine. And we looked at our Shadows of Brimstone Deluxe Enemy Pack, the Scafford Gang, the Scafford Highwaymen. That's been out for, they came out at the same time, but this one sold out. The other one has been in stock forever and a day. And finally, this is back in stock, and that's no longer the crazy, crazy prices. Would have been nicer if they had more than 3 different sculpts. They have the Colonel here, and then 3 each of 2 different guys. I would have rather had 2 each of 3 different guys say. That would have been a little nicer in my mind. That's a little more variety in your gang. Now, but if you supplement that with your Scafford Highwaymen, then, yeah, that'll be cool. And then, of course, once I find where I put the resin minis for these guys, the 6, maybe one of the few miniature things I do this year, I'll break them out. I don't know if I'm not going to have a probably a painting challenge until September. So whether I just on my own break out some minis to show and paint during the year, or just an occasional unboxing, we do want to feature some miniatures content, but we're it's less focused on featured on their channel. We definitely are concentrating on the war games the most. All right, so Meandering Mike, Man Cave of Madness. This has been our journey into the Shadows of Brimstone unboxing, the last unboxing for 2024. So remember, take care, y'all. Take care of your games, and they will take care of you, or you will be on the hill trade. Ciao.